next thing I'm going to talk about is the arbitrary arguments, right? So arbitrary arguments. So what is the arbitrary arguments? Okay. So now let me calm down here. Arbitrary. Okay. Arbitrary arguments. Okay. So what if you don't know in advance, right? What if you do not know in advance how many arguments you will need, right? In that case, you can use something called arbitrary arguments. Okay. So let's write a function, okay, with arbitrary arguments. So let's say f is the same function, right? All right. And then you have, say, for example, for arbitrary arguments, you need to use asterisks, okay? So asterisks, right? And then say, just you can put anything, any valid valid variable, okay? So let's just put x for it, okay, for simplicity. We'll just put x there, right? And then colon, right? And then what we can do is, okay, let's see. So okay, I want sum for all the arguments provided. So I can put sum is equal to 0. So I initialize sum. I declare a variable called sum and put 0 initially. That's for initializing. I initialize sum to 0, right? And then I use for, right? For I in, okay, x, okay? So for I in x, let me just double check, yeah. So, and then what do I do? Sum plus is equal to x, right? And then after I'm done with this, I do return sum, okay? So, okay, I'll explain this code in a moment, okay? So let's see how, okay, let's see the behavior of how this function works, okay? So how does this function behave, okay? Let's look at its behavior, or what does it do, right? Let's find out what it does, right? And then I'll explain what is going on, okay? So I'm calling the function, right? So how do I call the function? So the name of the function add, right? And then now, since I use asterisks, right? I use asterisks and I use asterisk x. That means this is arbitrary arguments. So that means I can provide any number of arguments. Okay. So for example, let me try with just one argument. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay. I just provided one argument. Okay. Okay. See what happens. Okay, it gave error because wait a minute. Okay, let's see. Unsupported type was equal to int and tuple. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So how about this? Okay. Let me give one more. Okay. Let me see if I. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I made a mistake here. I made a mistake because it's supposed to be I, not X. Okay, because X is a tuple, and then okay. So I'll explain in a moment. Okay. So now it should work. Okay. Go back here. See, it get 2 because 2. There's only one number, so the sum is 2, right? So if I provide another value, for example, 3, now I should get 5, right? Yes, and then see, I provide another value, 5, so it should give me 10, right? See, 10, right? So I can go on providing values and it still works for any number. So let's add 10 more, so I should get 20, right? So I got 20 here, see? Now, see, it works for any number of arguments. So that's why we call it arbitrary arguments, because the number of arguments is not fixed, it's arbitrary. It could be any number, right? So, okay, so this is how you do arbitrary arguments. So if you do not know in advance how many arguments you're going to have, how many arguments you will need, okay, when you're calling, then you can use arbitrary arguments. rather than fixed argument. So if you do not put asterisk, then it's a fixed argument. Now this will give you an error, right? This is going to give you an error because see, now it's something like now this is expecting only one. It's expecting only one argument, but you're providing how many? 4 arguments, right? See, one expected, but 4 were given. But if you just put an asterisk here, right? If you put an asterisk, means you made it what? You made it arbitrary. Now the argument is arbitrary, right? That means it can take any number of arguments. Okay, see, now it's working fine. See, you can add some more. Okay, let's for the fun of it, let's add some more. Okay, all right. Okay, see, perfect. Okay, so let me explain this code to you. Okay, so let me explain how this code works. Right? I mean, how it provided this. Okay, this result. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my whiteboard. Okay, and then clear it out. So let me copy this code here. Okay, so we have def, right? Def. We have add asterisk x, right? Colon sum is equal to 0, right? For I in x colon excuse me, sum plus equal to I, right? And then we do return sum. Okay, all right, so now let me explain this how it works. Okay, so when you're calling, so we're calling here, call the function. So how do I call it? Add. So let's just provide 2 arguments for now. Okay, 2 and 3. Okay, we call with 2 and 3. Now how it works is this 2 and 3. Okay, so this will be passed as a tuple. Okay, we'll come to 2 because we haven't covered tuple yet. So this will be passed like like a tuple. So this will be passed as a tuple. Tuple means, so something like x is equal to 2 comma 3. Okay, it will be passed just like that, just like one variable. Okay, so this although we are passing two values here, but they will be passed as a tuple, right? Okay, so this is something called tuple that we'll cover very soon, maybe in the next session. Okay, so now so we're okay, first this line is executed, right? And then here the value of x will be the tuple 2 3. Okay, and then we go here, right? We go here, and then the okay, so let's do this. We have sum. Let's make a table. Okay, let's make a table here to keep track of the values. Okay, so you keep track of the value sum, and then also we need to keep track of the value x, right? Okay, x rather than x. X. Okay, it's fine. And then we need to keep track of I as well, because we have I here, right? Okay, right, where we want to keep track of the some of these variables. So the variable sum, the variable x, and variable y, or i's, not y, I. Okay, so initially, so when you call this, right? So we're here, right? And we're calling add with 2 comma 3. So now this will be passed as just like this. So x is equal to 2. So this will be this is something called a tuple. Okay, tuple. Okay, so initially now the value of x will be 2 comma 3 as a tuple. Okay, don't worry about tuple right now, but we'll cover that very soon. Okay, so now we come to this, right? Here, we come here. Let me use a different pen. Okay, and then after this, okay, we come here, right? After that, we come right here, right? So here now this we declared a variable called sum and set the value to 0. So the value will be what? After we execute this, the value of sum will be 0, right? The value of sum will be 0, right? And then after that we come here, right? Sorry, I'm use a different color pen so that there's contrast. So here, so after that we come here. So here we have for I in X, right? So this means that, so it's something like, okay, I'm going to rewrite this code right here. So it will be something, okay, when I expand it, okay, so basically it's like this, for I in, right? And then the X is what? 2 comma 3, right? As a tuple. So this is a tuple, right? And then we have what? Sum, right? And this code right here, okay? Sum plus is equal to I, okay? So now what happens here is the value, okay, so when I talked about for in that session, in the previous session, what I said was when you run a for loop, so this is a for loop, right? So this is a for loop. So when you have a for loop like this, then what happens is, so in the first run, okay, first iteration, the value of I will, in the first iteration, the value of I will be this, the first value, 2, right? And then you go down here, right? And then the sum will be what? Sum is equal to sum plus I, right? Sum plus equal to I means sum equal to sum plus I, right? Is equal to what is the value of sum? Sum is 0, right? So 0 plus what is the value of I? 2, right? Now it becomes 2. The sum becomes 2, right? So now your sum becomes 2, okay? And then you go back again, right? So once you're done doing this, you go back again to, because this is a loop, right? So you need to finish all these items. So you're done with only one. So now the value of I take is 3 is assigned to Y, not Y, I. Okay. So now the value of I will be what? The value of I will be 3. The next, this one, right? And then and then after that we come down here. And then sum is equal to sum plus I. Now what is, okay, now I have to evaluate this again. So let me do this. So what is the value of sum? Okay, the latest value is right here. 2 plus, what is the value of I? This one, right? 3 is equal to what? 5. Now the value of sum will be 5, right? So now we will have 5 here, okay? So now, okay, I should have kept track of I, but I didn't need to, right? So here I got 5, right? And then, so my element, I'm done with all the elements, right? I took 2 first, and then I took 3. Now there's no more. That means now this 4, okay? And then the execution gets out of here, and then it comes down here and returns the sum. What is sum? Sum is equal to 5, right? So this sum is equal to what? 5. It's because it's evaluated to 5, right? Okay. So now this is returned back. It's returned back to the caller. That means the whole thing evaluates to 5. See? Now that's how we got it. Okay. So this is basically how. Okay. So if you didn't understand it fully, okay, don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. So because the main purpose here is understanding the, this arbitrary argument. Okay, that's all. Okay, so now you need some practice. So in order to understand these parts, okay, you might need some practice. Okay, so okay, one thing I can do is I can show you this code right here. Okay, and then see how it works. Okay, all right. So for I have something in chat here. Let's see. Okay. So basically what you mean is that all the pass value is added one by one inside this function. Yes. Yeah, Christmas. Yeah. So yeah. Let me reiterate that. Okay. Yes. Your understanding is correct. Okay. What Chrisman is saying is that, okay, he says, so basically what you mean is that all the past values will be added one by one inside this function. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. And then I showed you how it's done, right? Okay, so let me do this, okay? So I'm sure that you haven't got it fully, right? You haven't fully understood, but okay. Okay, let me go back to the code and then try to show you what's going on. Okay. Okay, let me create another code block here. Okay, and then here, see, now what I said was, now this x, right, this asterisk x, right? So now the x x gets what? The value of x will be what? So as I said here, so x is equal to, now effectively it will be like this. So if I'm calling with, let's use the same numbers, same values, okay? So if we have something like this, see, let me run this. I'm going to get 5, right? I got 5, right? See, now, effectively what I said, and then when I was in whiteboard, what I said was x is going to get this in the tuple form, right? This in tuple form. So what is tuple form? Tuple form is just like this, 2, comma 3. So it's something like x equal to 2, this 2 comma 3. Okay, so this tuple, okay, x equal to tuple with items or elements 2 comma 3. Okay, so let me show you now. I'm gonna okay, recreate the same thing. Okay, so here I'm gonna recreate this thing. I'm going to do this thing, right? This for loop, but I will substitute the value of x. Rather than putting x, I'm going to put the value this value. Okay, okay, and then you can see that for I in, right? I'm going to just put 2 comma 3 instead of x. I'm going to put 2 comma 3 because that's what I said, right? So this 2 comma 3 is passed as like this, right? Inside parenthesis, right? So that's exactly what I did here, right? So I replace x with this tuple, 2 comma 3, right? With the elements 2 comma 3. Colon, so I didn't do anything new. I just substituted. So so that you can understand what's going on, okay? Plus equal to I, okay? So now when I do this, and then if I print the value of sum here, so print sum, okay? Let's see what is the value of sum, okay? Let's see what happens, okay? Where's my mouse? Okay, my mouse suddenly is not working. Okay, anyway. Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh, ID, okay. Here, typo. It's a typo. Okay. I meant I, but I. Again, some problem. What is it? Okay. Sum plus equal to. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Sum. Okay, how about sum equal to sum plus I? Okay, let's try this. Okay. Okay. Something in chat here. Let's see. Okay, you haven't declared the value. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Krishnan. Yeah. So yeah, my mistake. Yeah, I haven't declared the value of sum, right? So yeah, I should put sum equal to 0. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, thank you, Krishnan. Yeah, so now it should work. Yeah, the previous code, either this or both are the same thing. Okay, so yeah, see. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, first I 0 for I 2 3. Okay, sum plus equal to I. Okay, equal to plus. Okay, here I again made a mistake. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Yeah, see, I got 5, right? So now let me add one more. Okay, so I don't need it anyway. I don't need it. Okay, so so if I put say 2 3 and then I'm going to put one more. Let's see, 4. So I should get what? Okay, 4, 5, 7, 8, right? Is that right? No, 9. Okay, I should get 9, right? See, I got 9. Okay, so basically what happens is this I, okay, I takes the value, the first one, okay, initially the first one, okay, in the first iteration, right? And then it takes the value, it takes the next value after that. Okay. It takes the next value, 3 after that, okay, and then 4 after that, okay. All right, let's see this. Okay, oh, great, thank you.